The 7.7 magnitude earthquake in Myanmar has been classified as shallow, with a depth of only about 10 kilometers, and the damage is expected to be substantial. The earthquake, measuring 7.7 on the Richter scale, shook central Myanmar, affecting Thailand and several neighboring countries. Experts warn that aftershocks may continue, complicating rescue efforts. According to the United States Geological Survey, USGS, the earthquake struck Mandalay, central Myanmar, at 12:50 p.m. local time on March 28th. A strong aftershock, measuring 6.8 on the Richter scale, was also recorded. The death toll is rising in both Myanmar and Thailand. The shallow epicenter, poor building quality, and the strong aftershocks are considered the main reasons why this earthquake has caused extensive damage. The earthquake was classified as shallow, with a depth of only about 10 kilometers, and the damage is expected to be significant. Many buildings have collapsed or sustained severe damage, and roads are cracked and broken. Professor Bill McGuire, a renowned geophysics and climate hazards expert at University College London, UCL, stated, "It is highly likely that the building quality in this region is not strong enough to withstand such strong tremors. The death toll will undoubtedly continue to rise as the scale of the disaster becomes clearer." Earthquakes occur when massive blocks of rock that make up the Earth's crust, known as tectonic plates, move and collide with one another. According to the USGS, the earthquake in Myanmar was caused by a strike-slip fault between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. The earthquake occurred on the Sagaing Fault, which marks the boundary between the Indian tectonic plate to the west and the Eurasian plate to the east. The Indian plate is moving north along this fault compared to the Eurasian plate, Professor Bill McGuire explained. According to the USGS, this area has experienced several large earthquakes due to similar strike-slip faults. Since 1900, 6 earthquakes with a magnitude of 7 or higher have occurred within approximately 250 kilometers from the epicenter of this quake. Myanmar earthquake. Death toll soars to 1,644, comparable to atomic bombs. The death toll in Myanmar continues to rise by the hour following the catastrophic earthquake, which has been likened to the impact of hundreds of atomic bombs. The Myanmar military government allowed hundreds of foreign rescue workers to enter the country on March 29th, after the earthquake claimed more than 1,600 lives. This is considered the deadliest natural disaster to hit the Southeast Asian country in many years. The 7.7 magnitude earthquake, which occurred on March 28th, is one of the most powerful earthquakes to shake Myanmar in the past century. It has incapacitated airports, bridges, and highways at a time when the ongoing civil war is already devastating the economy and forcing millions to flee their homes. BBC Burmese reported that as of today, the death toll in Myanmar has risen to 1,644 people, according to a statement from the military government. In neighboring Thailand, where the earthquake caused buildings to shake and a high-rise under construction in Bangkok to collapse, at least 9 people have died. In Mandalay, Myanmar's second-largest city, survivors used their bare hands on March 28th in a desperate effort to rescue those still trapped, due to a lack of heavy equipment and government assistance. In Bangkok, rescue operations continue at the site of the 33-story tower collapse, where 47 people remain missing or trapped under the rubble, including several Myanmar workers. The model forecast by the United States Geological Survey, USGS, predicts that the death toll in Myanmar could exceed 10,000, with losses potentially surpassing the country's annual GDP. A preliminary assessment by Myanmar's opposition NUG, National Unity Government, reported that at least 2,900 buildings, 30 roads, and 7 bridges have been damaged by the earthquake. Due to the severe damage, international airports in Naypyidaw and Mandalay are temporarily closed, said the NUG. The NUG consists of the remaining members of the democratically elected government that was overthrown in the 2021 military coup, leading to the ongoing civil war. The air traffic control tower at Naypyidaw's airport, the administrative capital of Myanmar, has collapsed, rendering the airport inoperable, according to a source familiar with the situation who spoke to Reuters. A Chinese rescue team has arrived at Yangon Airport, Myanmar's commercial hub, hundreds of kilometers away from Mandalay and Naypyidaw, and will proceed to the affected areas by bus, according to Myanmar's state media. Chinese President Xi Jinping held a phone conversation with Myanmar's military leadership, pledging $13.77 million in aid, including tents, blankets, and emergency medical kits, according to the Chinese embassy in Myanmar. The United States, which has strained relations with Myanmar's military and has imposed sanctions on officials, including military leader Min Aung, has also stated that it will provide humanitarian assistance. Aid from India has arrived in Yangon on a military aircraft, according to Myanmar's state media, with the Indian government also dispatching a ship carrying 40 tons of humanitarian supplies. Russia, Malaysia, and Singapore are also sending cargo planes carrying relief supplies and rescue personnel to Myanmar. The Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, has acknowledged the urgent need for humanitarian aid. ASEAN is ready to support relief and recovery efforts, the group stated. South Korea announced that it will provide initial humanitarian assistance worth $2 million to Myanmar through international organizations. People in the most heavily affected areas are in dire need of help. The earthquake has impacted vast areas of Myanmar, from the central plains around Mandalay to the hilly regions in Shan State in the east, where some areas are still beyond the control of the military government. A resident in Mandalay said that rescue efforts in the city could not keep up with the scale of the disaster. Many people are trapped, but no aid is coming simply because there are not enough personnel, equipment, or transportation, the resident said by phone, requesting anonymity for safety reasons. In Bangkok, where earthquakes rarely occur, Thai Deputy Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul said all available resources have been mobilized to search for survivors and recover the bodies of the deceased. Champin Kanoi, 39, said she rushed to the scene yesterday afternoon after hearing the news about the building collapse where her mother and sister worked. I called my sister, but no matter how many times I called, I couldn't get through, she said after an all-night vigil at the site. I want to wait for my mother and sister. I want to see them once more, she added. Across Bangkok, where earthquakes are a rare occurrence, up to 5,000 buildings may have been damaged, including apartment complexes, according to Anak Surapanakorn, a member of the Thai Engineers Council, an organization that is assisting the city's government. What are your thoughts on the devastating earthquake in Myanmar? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future updates and videos.